The mighty dollar, more than just cash, it's a symbol of economic power and global influence. Written by John Oliver from Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, the US dollar. It's not just a piece of paper, it's a cornerstone of the global economy. It's the king of currencies, the one that sets the standard for all others. It's what makes the world go round, financially speaking, of course. From international trade to everyday transactions, the dollar is everywhere. But lately this king has been looking a little unsteady. The once unshakable confidence in the dollar is now facing scrutiny, like about to be dethroned unsteady. The reasons are complex, but the signs are clear. Think of the dollar as the popular kid in school, the one everyone wants to be friends with, everyone uses it, everyone trusts it. It's the go-to currency for global transactions. But popularity can be fleeting, right? Just like in high school, today's star can be tomorrow's has-been. Right now, the dollar is facing some serious challenges. These challenges are not just minor bumps in the road, they are significant hurdles that could reshape the financial landscape. Think of it like this. The dollar's parents haven't been super responsible with money. And those choices, they have consequences. The financial decisions made by policymakers have long-term impacts. We're talking about things like inflation, national debt, and the ever-growing budget deficit. These are not just numbers, they represent real economic pressures. And a whole bunch of complicated global stuff. From trade wars to geopolitical tensions, the dollar is caught in a web of international issues. Don't worry, we'll break it down. We'll explore how these factors interplay and what it means for the future of the dollar. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the intricacies of the world's most influential currency. Remember that whole popular kid thing? You know, the one who seemed to have it all together, always winning the popularity contests and being the center of attention? Well, imagine that kid starts failing classes and racking up debt. Suddenly, they're not looking so invincible anymore, right? Their grades are slipping, and they're borrowing money left and right just to keep up appearances. Not a good look, right? It's a downward spiral that can be hard to escape from, and it all starts with a few bad decisions. That's kind of what's happening with the dollar. Once the symbol of economic strength and stability, it's now showing signs of wear and tear. The US has been spending more money than it has, racking up a massive debt. The debt clock keeps ticking and the numbers keep climbing, painting a worrying picture of the nation's financial health. It's like maxing out your credit card and then getting another one to cover the first. And then there's inflation, which is like the interest on those credit cards, making everything more expensive over time. Remember when that $5 footlong was actually $5? Yeah, good times. Now that same sandwich costs a lot more, and it's not just fast food prices that are going up. Inflation makes everything more expensive, which means your dollar doesn't go as far. Groceries, gas, rent, everything costs more, and it's putting a strain on people's wallets. These are just a couple of the cracks starting to show in the dollar's once mighty armor. The foundation is weakening, and it's becoming more apparent with each passing day. And trust me, it's got people worried. Investors are anxious, everyday folks are feeling the pinch, and there's a growing sense of unease about what the future holds. The signs of trouble are all around us, and it's time to pay attention. Remember that credit card analogy? Well, imagine you kept maxing out credit cards without paying them off. Not just you, but your parents, your grandparents, and everyone before them. That's basically what the national debt is. The US owes a lot of money to a lot of people and countries. And the more it borrows, the less confident lenders become in its ability to pay it back. This lack of confidence can lead to higher interest rates, which makes it even harder to pay off the debt. It's a vicious cycle, and it's not sustainable. Imagine you're playing a board game with fake money. You're having fun, buying properties, living the dream. But then someone decides to print a whole bunch more money. Suddenly, everyone's rich, except not really. That's kind of what happens with inflation. When there's too much money floating around, it loses its value. Your hard-earned dollars don't buy as much as they used to. Remember that $5 footlong? Yeah, it's probably closer to $10 now. And that's just one example. Inflation affects everything from gas to rent to your morning coffee. Section 5. The world is watching. Global factors at play. It's not just about what's happening in the US either. The dollar is a global currency, remember? That means what happens in other parts of the world matters too. Think of it like a big game of musical chairs. When the music stops, everyone rushes for a seat. In the world of currencies, that seat is stability. Right now, there's a lot of instability in the world. Wars, pandemics, climate change, it's enough to make anyone nervous. And when investors get nervous, they start looking for safer places to put their money. Section 6, the price we pay, everyday impacts of a dollar decline. So, how does all of this affect you? Well, remember those higher prices we talked about? That's just the tip of the iceberg. If the dollar continues to decline, it could lead to even higher prices. That $10 footlong? Yeah, it might be $15 soon. Job losses. As businesses struggle to cope with rising costs, they may have to lay off workers. Shrinking savings. Remember that money you've been saving? Inflation is eating away at its value every day. Section 7, from groceries to gas. Feeling the pinch. Let's get specific. Imagine you go to the grocery store and your usual cart of food costs twice as much as it did last month. Or you try to fill up your gas tank and it costs you an entire day's wages. These are just a couple of examples of how a dollar decline could impact your daily life. It's not pretty, is it? And it's not just about everyday expenses either. A weaker dollar could also make it more expensive to travel abroad, buy imported goods, and even send money to family overseas. Section 8, safeguarding your future, strategies for a shaky economy. Okay, so the news isn't great, but don't panic. There are things you can do to protect yourself and your finances. Think of it like this. You wouldn't go hiking in a hurricane, right? You'd prepare for the storm. Same goes for your finances. Here are a few things you can do. Reduce your debt. The less debt you have, the less vulnerable you are to rising interest rates. Invest wisely. Consider diversifying your portfolio with assets that tend to perform well during inflation. Section 9, beyond the dollar, exploring alternative investments. Speaking of investing, it might be time to look beyond traditional stocks and bonds and consider other avenues. Remember that musical chairs analogy? Well, you don't want to be caught without a seat when the music stops. Alternative investments like gold, real estate, and even cryptocurrencies can provide a hedge against inflation and a weakening dollar. But remember, every investment carries risks. Do your research thoroughly and talk to a financial advisor before making any big decisions to ensure you're making the right choice. Section 10, navigating the unknown, a glimpse into the financial future. As we stand on the brink of a new era, the financial landscape is more unpredictable than ever. The future of the US dollar is uncertain. With global markets in flux and geopolitical tensions rising, the stability of the dollar is being questioned. It could recover, or it could continue to decline. Various factors such as inflation rates, government policies, and international trade agreements will play crucial roles in determining its trajectory. No one knows for sure. Economists and financial experts are divided, each presenting different scenarios based on their analyses. But one thing's for sure, the world is changing. The global economy is evolving at a rapid pace, driven by technological advancements and shifting power dynamics. Just like that popular kid who needs to grow up and get their act together, the US needs to address its economic challenges. Issues like national debt, unemployment, and income inequality need urgent attention. The US needs to address its economic challenges. If these issues are not tackled head-on, the repercussions could be severe, affecting not just the US but the global economy as well. Otherwise, it risks losing its place as the world's leading currency. The good news is, you're not powerless. Individuals and businesses can take proactive steps to safeguard their financial future. By understanding the risks and taking steps to prepare, you can weather the storm and come out stronger on the other side. Diversifying investments, staying informed about market trends, and seeking professional financial advice are just a few ways to build resilience. You can weather the storm and come out stronger on the other side. Remember, in times of uncertainty, preparation and adaptability are your best allies. Stay vigilant, stay prepared, and embrace the changes that lie ahead.
So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and let's turn the page on a new adventure together. Get ready to experience books like never before, only on VBook 360. Like, comment, and share to support the channel and keep the video magic alive. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, every video has a story, and every story deserves to be shared. See you in the next video.